3-minute game. Playing as white. Just attacking through the centre, clearing up the pawns in the centre. The opponent's allowing us to take, whilst they're coming down the flank. At the minute, the gauge bar is showing that we're winning, but you know, it's only the start of the game. Although we're in endgame mode. So we capture the queen, put pressure onto the bishop with a smaller piece. Look to trade off the bishop because our position looked fairly favourable to us in terms of development. Got the 2 knights out, got the bishop ready to get into activity. So move the knight across, and when I'd moved it I thought, oh, why have I moved it there? You know, it's not got anywhere to go. You know, these spaces are blocked off. Maybe I would have been better bringing it across here, but I moved it there because nothing could attack it, and it was like a ninja bishop ready to start jumping into these squares if the bishop disappears or the pawn moves out of the way. So it's like a ninja bishop. It had done its job. So we castled on the queen side. Didn't really want to castle on the king side because these pawns had been pushed down a little bit. Not that I was too worried about them, but positionally it felt better because their opponent hadn't actually castled. So I'm thinking if we can own this file, then we can maybe potentially start putting pressure towards their king area. So they capture the pawn, so now we can bring our rook across. Going to be pressuring this knight. What can protect it? Just the pawn at the minute, and then we do have the attack process of the knight attacking, so we'll be winning a pawn in this process, all because the opponent has developed pawns, developed pieces per se, but not really focused on their king safety, which I'm happy for. So we could grab and then grab again, still maintaining pressure through the knight onto the king from the rook. So they castle, and as you can see, the space now is available for the knight to actually get activated on this side. So they've come down for a capture, but now we can x-ray with our bishop through to their king, so they can no longer move their rook. So they're going to move their rook. Don't think there's any piece that can come in and block that situation. So from the early onset of owning these files here, we've been able to create a little bit of a stir, even owning this file here. So they look to try and get rid of us, so we can take with the check on the king, but then also capture the pawn, maintaining protection of the bishop, all the while making sure our king can move and it is safe. So now the knight can jump to the magical square, putting a check on the king. King comes down, so now we're looking to double up in front of the king. Rook comes down, not too sure what that was, so we then attacked, and then the opponent ran out of time. So that was an interesting game again of team working and keeping the king safe. So working those two methodologies together, owning files with the rooks, getting pieces working together, x-raying through with the bishop onto the king, really attacking and focusing the key spaces, the key areas and the key pieces. So once you're attacking appropriately, then the team start working together appropriately to then swarm the king if it gets to that stage.